Hi, everyone. So sorry. Take three. Sometimes it seems like I get into some energies and things start to go cuckoo. They're going cuckoo right now. So a camera keeps shutting off. So I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to end so abruptly. This one will be quick and it will finish up the rest of where I was going with this reading. And interestingly enough, we were talking about the light of the imperial spheres of the earth. This book records the fiery deeds, and it is entirely woven from the highest substances of fire. Only those inscribed in this book are able to read it. So, for one needs special knowledge in order to understand the fiery signs, while in the former volumes you may find deeds of the flesh and the soul, reflecting the fiery path of the divine spirit. Closer to the tops are the tablets of the subtle plane crowned by the volumes of the fiery destinies. In addition to the mysterious tower houses the records of all neglected opportunities given to the human race since its creation. Books burnt in fires containing the knowledge covering the spheres of all life, the most progressive ideas, discoveries, and many other things which could have helped humanity to ascend to the steps of divine humanity, if only people had accepted this with all their heart and mind. The entire human life would not be sufficient to copy on paper the contents of even a single folio, but even the most comprehensive volumes seem to be amazingly light, since its pages are made from a special composition of matter. Neither fire nor water can affect the compactity written lines, which have been crystallized forever. Even though it represents a specific historical era, this living word, affirmed beyond time and space, light revives before one's eyes. And a statically affirmed word takes on a definite hue of manifested energy, resulting in pictures visible to the human eye. However, it is impossible to describe the human words, such as concepts of color, light, sound, that figure on the empirical tablets, written in the sacred Sanzar. For each of the priceless artifacts are a special niche. They were created in which was imbued with the currents of those times when an individual manuscript came into light. Further energy, constant of the currents, is preserved, thanks to a specially constructed covering, a vitreous substance which has a clearly defined geometrical shape. Thus, the manuscript bears within themselves an extremely powerful energy, potential for many millennia to come. The Book of Daizan is also preserved in a similar manner. Okay. Nowadays, many volumes of the esoteric and esoteric commentaries on the Book of the Daizan, representing all of the innermost sciences, are kept hidden in the secret lamissaries of the East. Each of these ancient sciences, religions, and philosophies of the present stage of human evolution is derived from this great book. And that is why the sacred texts and all the works of the initiated philosophers and alchemists have the same ideas in common, being only popular interpretations of certain parts of the secret manuscript, presented in a different light. In the meantime, the true meaning was veiled by the messengers of light behind the symbols, myths, and legends. Deliberate vagueness and unfamiliar terms, extremely abstruse mathematical calculations, and a secret code of certain words and expressions, plus many other forms of camouflage. The 7 keys to which are in the hands of the Mahatmas alone. To each of the 7 keys must be turned 7 times before the entire meaning is revealed. The book of the Dazan consists of the stanzas, the total number of which is only known to the initiates. During certain periods of time, fragments of the sacred manuscripts are divulged by the great masters of great wisdom through their messages in a certain ray. Since different epochs demand different expressions of different energies, imbuing knowledge with a specific energy and coloring which is needed for the enrichment of the world in a particular century. Thus, in 1888, for the first time in history of modern humanity, 19 stanzas from the Book of Dazan were revealed by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky in her landmark masterwork, The Secret Doctrine, comprising 2 volumes on the creation of the universe and the origin of humanity, known as Cosmogenesis, and the Anthropogenesis, a 3rd volume, Theogenesis, which includes 9 stanzas of the Dazan, on the inherent divinity of humanity. It was received by Francia Ladoux between 1906 and 1918. The present volume is a new excerpt from the Book of Dazan, or the Book of Secret Wisdom, entitled Agape Genesis. It comprises 12 stanzas, which were originally translated from the Censar to the Russians by Zinovia Velintseva Dushkova. Sorry if I butchered that. 1995, expounding the symbolism of the mysterious language of the ray of love wisdom. The translation from the language of the Censar is complicated by the fact that it is not always possible to find equivalents in language for the words they are trying to convey through a complex idea or action. For example, in the matter of finding a human term for the divine infinite principle, or the inconceivable cause of all existence. There are very few words that are able to clearly express the main idea to a majority of people living in the Christian century. 2 of these words would be God and Creator, but the Christian understanding of these words does not correspond to the truth of the meaning. At the same time, it is better to use terms such as Ensof, Brahma, or Adi Buddhi, which might only confuse the reader, who has also been brought up in a Christian tradition. Therefore, in order not to be misunderstood and to avoid so many complicated terms, the translator, as a rule, uses these words and expressions that are most acceptable and accessible in the society that he or she may live in at that time. Unlike the previous books of the Dazan, the stanzas of the Agape Genesis were given without the commentaries of the great teachers. This is because they were translated through the ray of love wisdom, with its particular focus in the heart. A whole volume of commentary could be devoted to each of the 12 stanzas, but the heart, possessing an all-seeing eye, allows one to grasp the whole truth contained within them. Like all esoteric texts, the Agape Genesis comprises 7 levels of understanding, and therefore with every new reading, more and more secrets will be revealed to the eyes of one's heart. This in turn will proclaim the assimilation of truth through the voice of intuition. However, to aid those who are taking their first steps towards studying such books, A glossary and word phrases was compiled using the knowledge given by the masters of ancient wisdom over the last century. It is designed to serve as a basis of understanding this work. And so, beyond time and space, the 12 mysterious stanzas of love will open before your eyes not only the past, but also the present and future of humanity and the earth, thus bearing in mind the universal law of correspondence, as above, so below. It is impossible to understand by analogy the development of all the races of humanity in all their rounds of evolution, as well as to comprehend a path of evolution, the path of our planet, the solar system, and the whole universe, according to the law of divine love. Agape Genesis, the 12 stanzas. And this is what we will be getting into, and it is a pretty quick read, but I will tell you, this is a book y'all might want to grab a hold of to keep in your personal library, because as they stated, there is a glossary in the back of this book that is literally more. It is more pages than the book itself. This is one of the most beautiful glossaries I have seen in a very, very long time. And literally, like, the definitions of these words, you could look up in a dictionary and they would not be the same as what you're going to get in these books. Just like this, one of the first words, the first of the three, the first one was an adept, one who has attained true knowledge and mastered the law of spirit, matter, and is reaching the stages of initiation, thus becoming a master of esoteric philosophy. That's the first word they define. Agape, meaning Greek, love, spiritual, selfless, sacrificial, unconditional, divine love, which serves as a model for humanity. In the Bible, it is the highest of the 4 types of love. It is the love which is of both of God and from God, whose very nature is love itself. Jesus Christ showed humanity this type of love for the first time upon the earth. Oh, that's brilliant. Agni, Sanskrit, meaning fire. Fire. The fire, the God of fire. He is the oldest and the most revered of gods in India. It should be noted that Agnus Dei, Latin Lamb of God of Christianity, i.e., Christ, is represented by the symbols identical with the god Agni, Agni of Hinduism. Agni is one of the 3 greatest deities, Agni, Vayu, and Surya, and also the 3 at once, being the threefold aspect of fire, the fire trinity. In the sky as the sun, in the air as the lightning, and on the earth as ordinary fire. Agni was part of the ancient Vedic Trimurti, Sanskrit, meaning 3 faces or threefold form, i.e. the Trinity. Before Vishnu was given a place of honor, and before Brahma and Shiva were ever manifested. In ancient times, Agni was considered the source of all beings and all power. Agni is manifested in all that exists. He is inseparable from the life, and there is no life without him. He is the very substance of the invisible God, the divine essence, the ever-present in every atom of his creation, which the Rosicrucians call the celestial fire. All space is filled with this fire. All energies, all elements originate from one primary energy, the fire. Each manifestation of spirit and matter is but a manifestation of the same primary energy of Agni, which is the Lord. And you come from him. This is what he showed me. You were birthed from my fire, and my fire is within you, and Jesus means he is us because he's inside you. The fire in you is that God. That's what this is. This just blows my mind when I was reading this. I was like, wow, hi, Lord. The circle of the symbol represents endlessness, time in eternity, signifying the divine unity from which all proceeds and to which all returns. God can be thought of as a kind of circle, the center of which is everywhere, and the circumference is nowhere. Thus, for all peoples, the circle has been the symbol of the unknown, boundless space, the abstract vesture of an ever-present abstraction, the incognizable deity. The symbol of the spirit and immortality has always been depicted as a circle. Hence, the serpent biting its tail represents the circle of wisdom in infinity. The next one they give you is Akasha. Like I said, this glossary is literally 60. It's about 180 pages long when the actual book for the 12 stanzas is only like 62 pages long. So this glossary, any of you who are learning or want to study spiritual, theological, philosophical materials, this might be a great source for you to get because of the value of this glossary and the value of the 12 stanzas that we will go over, which are written within them. But I've been drawn to this book for years, and I purchased it, and I've had it for a little bit, and I was like, it's time to grab this beautiful purple book that keeps calling to me, and it's profound, and I'm just absolutely loving it. I've been reading it today, and like I said, this is why I wanted to record these, so I could share it with you guys, what I'm finding and what I'm seeing, and how it's reconnecting me with my fire, because this is remembering the power of that fire within us. And it was so funny, I was born with the name Trina, which is the foundation of that name is Trinity. And to even go a little bit deeper, I was born in the sign of Aries, and through Vedic, my ascending and my descending are in Leo, which means I was born in triple fire. So this information is super, super resonating with me, and those of you who sit in a lot of fire, it might resonate with you too. So I really hope it does, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I love you all, and I can't wait to be with you soon and learn more and dive deeper into the magic of us. And that magic is the fire of love. So I love you all. Flame on, bright ones. And may us transmute this world into the greatest source of love ever seen. That's my mission, and that's what I came here, and that is my dream. So all of you on that journey with me, thank you. Thank you. It means more to me than you will ever know. And many of you here with me now, I know that your names are written in those books of fire destinies, because we have died more than once trying to bring forth this information to the world. And I think this time it's going to be delivered. And it's through all of you and through integrating this wisdom in your heart. Because the mind, it's so important and it has its function. But when you seek truth and you want to learn the wisdom of truth, you will find that through love. And it's through your heart, your intuition, and your truest guidance and your truest north is in the heart. So I love you all. You are part of my heart, and I thank you for that. And I will see you very soon, my soul family. Have a beautiful day or night, wherever you may be. And agape love to you all. Namaste.